Okay, in this video we will continue our discussion importing the Autodesk InfraWorks 2023 model. So we can start from creating new drawing by pressing this plus tab here, then new tab containing the new drawing, and then after that we move to InfraWorks tab. Here we have open model, so let me click it and then we open the model. So we have to know where the model is located. In my case, the model is located under this one. So basically it is located under the document folder, and then Autodesk InfraWorks model. Then inside here we have Autodesk 360. Then we have this model, Bukit Puchong SQ, right? We open it and then make sure the model is not open, so that it can detect the coordinate system. Here the model, since we didn't set up any coordinate system for AutoCAD, Autodesk Civil 3D, so it is proposed, given a proposal from the Autodesk, the appropriate coordinate system, that is UTM 8447N. Then after that we refine the selection. In this video, intentionally we want to utilize the alignment. We already set the road, set the horizontal and vertical alignment of the road, but there are limitations in assembly development in Autodesk InfraWorks. So it cannot manage to have certain sub-assembly such as the bench or slope bench for the daylight, and the pavement is very simple. This only consists of one rigid pavement, one layers of thickness. But in Civil 3D we can manage to have more detail. So then we don't want these two, we only want the existing ground from InfraWorks. And then planning road also we don't want to import it. And then component road, also component road consists of all the assembly. As I mentioned that the assembly in InfraWorks model is very limited, so we untick it. Then what about intersection? Intersection also in InfraWorks, as we previously have discussed in the previous video, the intersection is actually not properly imported, so then we need to create our own intersection. Then coverage terrain modifying we also don't want. Water area we don't want this one. And then bridge, okay, we want to have this bridge only to see how it is placed on the on our Civil 3D model. And then tunnel in InfraWorks, it is not an assembly, but it is a 3D model, 3D object. So then when we import in the InfraWorks, it is not properly imported. So roundabout also we don't want it. We will create our own roundabout. Untick this one. So then by having this one, only the design road, so we will have only the alignment of the road. So and then we press OK, and then open model. So only 70 entities imported So we have all these things. So only the alignment, the horizontal alignment, vertical alignment already created. Then some, let me see, is there any component that important as well? So we don't have any other component. Let me zoom, press Z for zoom and E for extend. So we don't have anything other than this currently. So then for the annotation here, it's too big, so we can reduce the size, make it smaller by click bottom here. We have the scale, annotation scale. Let me set it to 150 like that. So, and then it is not dynamically reduce or increase or decrease the size. So then you need to repeat the process, and then it will reduce like that. So then we have the size of the, if we cannot see it, so we make it bigger by setting the scale of annotation. Okay. So we have the annotation, the station, all the station we have here, horizontal alignment, and also we have vertical or profile alignment. Okay, so name of road. Once we select this, any object, the property will be here. So we have here the style is proposed for road name 244. So we can edit the name of this one, but this one is a road number 244. Propose, you can also change this one, whether it is basic, existing, or proposed. Okay, maintain it, and then escape to end the process, and then 246. So we want to start with creating the intersection at this point. Okay. So go to Home tab. You can see here we have in the last video we see on how to to edit profile of the road. Of the what call it surface. Okay. And here we focus on the corridor design. So here we have, in order to create corridor, even the intersection also it has corridor. So we need to have alignment, profile, then assembly. We still don't have here. So when we don't have any assembly, when we create what we call it corridor, it will carry the the default assembly that located here. Let me place it somewhere in here. This property, and then this tool palette. Let me make it smaller, or maybe this is the smallest size for the one. So then we can make it smaller. Okay, so we have assembly here. So primary road through intersection, primary road part section, daylight. So then it will be the basic, the default assembly for intersection. This one for common assembly. So we have primary, secondary, and then also we have the curb. Let me use this one. Then after that, we modify it. Okay. Then before we start to construct the intersection, so we check whether the intersection, these two alignment crossing correctly. So it's not, it's supposed to be the end of this one at the end of the intersection. So then we click this one, and then we move it to this intersection. So make sure we snap on. On the snap on here, there is a button down here. Okay, icon of or snap, or you can type or snap, see, and you click this one, and one window will appear on your screen. So then you make sure you have the intersection. Click the intersection. Or else you go to here and then select intersection. Where is the intersection? This one, intersection. Okay, done. So we click this one and then click the vertex of alignment, and then it will detect the intersection here. Then click here, and then since this is a T junction or not the full junction, so we have one of the alignment should be on the middle of this alignment. Okay, then so we have this one. Then profile, but actually here you can see here on the prospector that we see the alignment, the center alignment. So we have information here, and then for the profile, do we have the profile here? Let me see surface alignment. So under alignment here is supposed to be there is a profile. Let's say 244. Yes, we have profile here. So profile view, right click, refresh or profile here. It's not we cannot create the profile. So then we can do to this, click the alignment, and then the contextual tab will appear for the alignment 244, and then we have here profile view. Okay, profile view. Then when we click this one, so it will ask us how the profile will look like. You name a profile view here, name style. If you want to make it standard profile view, so it will be different. Later we discuss it for the style. And then if you want to follow one by one, if you want to have data band, you can add here data band. So currently the data band is only the elevation, so you can add the data band on cut and fill, station only, pipe data, and so on and so forth. Currently elevation and station only. Hatch, you can add cut hatch. Click this one, so you have this one, cut hatch, upper boundary and lower boundary, this alignment. And fill area also you can click here. So upper boundary will be changed over this one like this. And then after that, create profile view. Click this one, and then you can see here we are asking you to select profile view. It is already still on. So then here we click outside here. You can see there. So then we can modify this one profile here because this is segregated. So we select. If you want to segregate, I mean the vertical grid scale is 1. So then we go to right click and then right click and properties, probably in here or not this one. So then we go for this one, right click, and then here right click on the corner here, edit profile view style. We have this tab is previously in the setup. So vertical segregation is 10, so we can set it to 1, and then custom scale or vertical scale is 10. So make it so it's over 1/100. Vertical segregation 1, horizontal scale 100. So then we start with that one and then apply. So it will be small, reduce that. And then for the display, you can set up the display here. Graph title is on, left axis on, title axis left, we set it on. We remove all the grid, major, vertical, and horizontal we switch off. Minor as well, so that it will be empty. And then OK, so you can see that like that. Okay, then we have this one, let me create another profile for this segment. Okay, for this alignment, sorry, for this alignment. Click this one, then contextual tab will appear, then profile view. Let me have the hedge. Click profile view, and then put it here. Okay, like that. So we have cut and fill. Although this area should be for what we call it, bridge. So okay, so then escape to end this one. Then let me make it bigger for the annotation here, so you can see intersection at this point. Okay, we don't have the assembly yet. So then let me move this one, so then we can access. Sorry, move it here like that. So we have, I want to split this one. Skip, and then we have viewport. Where is the viewport? Let me try viewport here. Select the second step. Currently we have 2 vertical, 2 horizontal, that we have 2 horizontal. Okay, and okay here. So I want to access this basically. Actually, I want to be able to access the intersection that we want to create. This intersection, this one, and then redraw this one, and then this one I want to access the root alignment, to see the root alignment. So how to activate this one? So basically it's supposed to be in here. There is a icon, I mean selection here, or you can access by type viewport or VP if I'm mistaken. Viewport, viewport down here. Okay, command. Okay, so we already have the alignment. The red one here is the existing road surface profile, and this one is a proposed profile for road 244. Okay, back to this one, and then once you already have the component of this one, even though we still don't have the assembly, because we want to follow the assembly that available here, then we modify. Okay, so go to home, and then we go to intersection, create intersection. So it will ask you select intersection. I don't know why it is here. So you select the intersection here. Make sure you switch on the intersection is okay, already on. So it will detect the intersection. Click. So one window will appear on your screen. Like this. Intersection marker, basic. Intersection label, use basic. Geometry detail, this one is no need to worry about this one. Just directly we go to create intersection. Or corridor region, you can see here the primary road full section still using this. This is the assembly to apply primary road full section, because we don't have specific what we call it, assembly. Later, once we select this one, it will create assembly for us. Then we modify the assembly. Okay, then we create directly I press the create intersection button, and it will create. You can see modeling corridor, everything is created. Then you can see there, but you can see there it's because of the assembly is not as what we want. When we click here this one, there are several region available here. This region number 1. Maybe there is another region in between here. This is region, a curve region. The curve region down here. The curve region, you can see here the curve region, and then this is the curve. This region without curve and daylight on the right side. Why I mentioned about right side, because the route here in to that direction, station 400, station 420, station 440. So then to that direction. So it means we're moving to that direction. So the right side of the road here, in this region, it has no curve and has no daylight. That we see there is a down here. I want to this one. This is the assembly that created for the intersection. Okay, the assembly. Let me see whether there are some. No, this one the assembly. So the assembly, the full assembly is here. Primary road full section. We can still change here. The full assembly will be at the both end. Here, full assembly. Let me see how to access this one. We click this one, and then contextual intersection tab will appear on your screen. This one. Or corridor contextual button will appear in this tab. Contextual tab. So you can see here, this is the corridor properties, add region, modify region here, region properties. So we click this one, or you can access from right click. This is the primary road full section. There are 7. When we hovering that one, full section for secondary. This one is full section for primary, region number 3. This one region number 4, primary road part section, daylight left. Oh, there are 4, 6. And curb return fillet, this one is also a curb return fillet. There are 2. And then this one, secondary road full section. I think this one is the secondary road half section daylight. Oh, this means this one is a I think this one, not this one. This one daylight left. Only daylight left. Okay, anyway. So we have several region, 7 maximum, if I'm not mistaken, 7 region. So all the 7 region, it has its own assembly. You can see we calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 assembly. Let me access it. For this region, click this one. You can see primary road full section. So we can select from this one to replace it. Primary road. If you can select, if you do not remember, you can select by this button and select appropriate. Sorry, this viewport. This one, select and click. This one is primary road full section. Same one. Okay. And then what we want sorry, we have to do, we modify the assembly, sub-assembly given parameter. When we click this sub-assembly, property here will appear. Then we close this one, the tool palette here, and then we move the property to this side. So escape because it varies. Place this one, and then click the sub-assembly. Click the sub-assembly. Sub-assembly. This is the sub. We call it sub-assembly. The whole assembly here consists of sub-assemblies. You can see here the width 3.6. Previously we set it to 2.5, right? So change to 2.5. Sorry. And then also this one 2.5. Change to 2.5. And then this is the left side. Then maintain almost others. And you can see there there is a pavement depth. There are several numbers here. First one here, when we click this one, we have default slope. There's crown there in the middle, and then pave one depth 0.025. This one was for the skin. And then pave number 2 0.025 meter, so it's been 2.5 centimeter, 1 inch. Base depth is 10 centimeter, it's 30 centimeter for sub base depth. And then use super elevation. If you want to have super elevation, you can have this one, but in this region we don't need to have the super elevation because we currently in a straight line here, a straight line. If you want to accommodate the other segment, so later we create another region for this segment, this region for this one, that accommodating the super elevation and the curve, so then we can set it to yes for the super elevation. Okay. So then we have this one. Then for the right, the size already there, and then also you can change the size of all the assembly here. You change. Okay. Then we want to replace this one. We don't want this one because this one was single slope only, so we delete. We can delete. Then after that we go to palette, select the daylight here. We select the daylight bench, so we can utilize that on the other side. So daylight bench and daylight bench. Then after that we select we place this at this point. But I'm not pretty sure it is already in the code. So you can see here it is already in the assembly code. No add to assembly is highlighted here. So when it is separate, let's say if you want to do like this and then click it here, maybe it is need to be attached some assembly, we can just simply select, let's say the cup here. Oh no, no, cannot. Just need to have. When we copy from other, you copy from others, and then you put it here, and then you need to, let's say this one. I delete this one, delete, and then I take from the other assembly, Ctrl C. You can use the select this one, the sub assembly, and then go to home and then copy. So you copy point of copy, and then this one, so escape. So this one is not you need to click this sub assembly and then the sub assembly contextual, then add to assembly. So to where, so you put it here, to this, then so it will be added into this code. Basically this one is the visual or diagrammatic coding or programming. So we delete this, we don't want. We want to have this one and then mirror it to this one. Click this one and then contextual sub-assembly tab will appear, and then you can see here there is a mirror icon here. Click it and then mirror to where mirror to this. It's supposed to be middle here. Oh sorry, not there. Ctrl Z. So then select this one, do mirroring, then select to this point. So it is connected already. Okay. Oh sorry, we need to delete because we haven't set up the properties of this sub-assembly. So you can see that cut slope is 2.2. We want to make it 1.5 and then 1.5 for the fill slope, bench width 1.5, so then we can reduce it to 1, depend on the design, and then also the availability of space. I found in Cameron Highline because the slopes are very high and quite steep, so they set up the bench width only 60 centimeter, only for adequate for what you call it, for the drain. And then other than that, bench surrounding, no other things to change. 1.5. Okay. And then 3 meter for maximum fill height you can change, and then done. Let me check one more time. Yeah, it's already there. And after that we select this one and then do mirroring, select this like that. Then we can name it because later maybe we have another junction. Anyway, if we have the same assembly, we can utilize it. But you can keep. I mean, we can rename it for your route. Let's say route full section PRFS. Premier route full section for route 244 246. I want to do that like that. So it's a premier route full assembly, full sub assembly. Description, if you want to add some description, it's okay, you can add it. And then after that, this secondary road full section. So basically we can utilize the same this one, because the secondary one is 244, the main one is 246, so we can use this. So then even you can delete this one, but later because it is still being used for our intersection, so let it be like this. And then we edit the other one, this one, that curb return. So remember that this is the curb return. It has one. Oh, maybe I make mistake. It's supposed to be in here. So then let me move it. Let me see here. Yeah, this is on the curb, not on the base of the curb. Look this one, and then look there. So the way how to move it, you click the sub-assembly, click the initial placement, and then the placement, then move it to here. And okay. Just to ensure it is the same as this one. So here, you can see here we have this. What we need to do, just edit this one to 2.5, and then other things don't need change, only this one. Let me click and then delete. Oh sorry, Ctrl Z. Sorry, still I'm not releasing the sub-assembly selection previously. Delete. Then first this one, primary root full section here, we change to this one. We can already can do this one. Right click, select the corridor, and then rebuild all. Let me see whether you can see that this one we have to change a little bit, some more here. And then so what is this region? So it not captured the daylight. It's not captured the daylight. It's not captured the daylight. And then we select this one. Then we can contextual. Then go to the region properties. Let me see what is this one. Second root full section. Let me use this one. Select. Then select this one. Go for this one. I'm not sure why it cannot target. We select the target. So already target already correct. Let me check that on one by one. So this one's target is not correct. Let's click rebuild all. So the daylight here is appropriately we have. Okay. After we modify the sub-assembly, so you can see on the left side here, the corridor, it has exclamation mark. So it means the update that we did still not upgrade or updating the whole corridor of the intersection. And one more thing here, you can see here in the new what we call it here, the assembly here and the corridor here, it still has some error that it has no what we call it, daylight along this one. So then what we need to do here, we click this one, the corridor, and then after that we do modify the region properties. So this region, so we check the target. So you can see the target is empty. Okay, and okay. So then the daylight already available. So this one that we check. The target is not properly updated. Here as well. Let me check here. We do changing all this. Then last, I think, end of here, we check the target, so still not update. And okay. So and this, let me check. Yeah, still have no target set. And okay. So basically almost done here. Then we escape here, and then we select the we select the corridor of the intersection, and then see the object viewer. So then we can see. I think there is a still of problem here, but it is because of the frequency only. It's not because of this one is not detect, not correct, but it is because of the frequency that we need to add somewhere in here. So it required more frequency here. How to add or let me update the corridor here. Right click, rebuild all. We rebuild it. So then maybe it is still there. Then we select, and then after that we edit frequency for this region. Let me make it 1 meter. to of 1 meter. So this one 1 meter, and then we okay. So then it's more things more proper. It has more what do you call it, division of a surface. Object new. Or still not have no, because this still have no sufficient grid. I mean frequency. It's okay, no problem. Then next we can work on the region here. I mean this part. It's not okay. Then what we can do, we select this one, and after that, or not this one. I mean, if you want to make the corridor is part of this intersection, and also the corridor on this area is part of this. So then there are two ways. First, we go like this and bring it, stretch it up. But the problem is it has offset here. So then once you stretch this one, so the code cannot read the offset here. But it is only a warning. It's okay, no problem. Let me do something like this. We click this one, and after that, add baseline. The first step, add baseline, add the baseline, and then we select using this, and then select this one, and then alignment this one, alignment 246, and OK. Then select profile, the profile for 246. We OK, press OK. Then we add region. After we add baseline, we add region. So you can see here it is highlighting. So we can start activate the OSNAP or snap. It's not there. We click this one, OSNAP and intersection. So then it will detect the intersection here, and then OK until until this point. From this point until this, the intersection of this one to this. And then the assembly, we use the full assembly that we have, this one. Okay. And then target surface, we use the existing ground. Okay, then left everything none. Okay. Then you can see that. So it is created. You can increase the frequency. Select this one. Increase the frequency. Make it 5 meter. Instead of 20 meter. 5 meter. And OK. The straight line. So if you want to create another copy this one, the full primary road, because this one without the super elevation is not applied. So then we copy this, and then go home, copy, click here, and then put it here. And then let me name it, rename this one. It has super elevation. Enter. Okay. Then we click the sub-assembly properties, use super elevation. Slope this away from crown with left lane outside. or maybe automatically later it is captured. No need to have that one. Anyway, leave it. Okay, then also we can work on the same method for this assembly, for this corridor. So how, click this one and then add this line, click alignment, this alignment, then OK. After that OK, then add region. So we select this one, click, and then baseline, OK. Then make sure we switch on the OSNet, so we can use the intersection here. Bring it to the end here. Later, if you want to create the region, you can split it. This one you select full. And check this one for existing ground, for daylight, and OK. So it's created. So for this region, maybe we can frequency we add, instead of 20 we make it 10 meter. Okay. Then so you can find here we have another possible intersection here, and we can continue to add this area, this line, add this line, this alignment, and then alignment, OK, and then OK, and then after that add region, yes, select this line. Oh, I made a mistake, sorry. Add region, this one, and just OK. So make sure we have the intersection. Let me check. We remove other intersection of the midpoint and center. We need the intersection only. Then go along this until it reach this one. Because later the road, it has its own its own corridor, and we set it to full, and then set this one. Okay. So then we have the integrated, connected intersection and the road corridor. So let me click this one, and then right click, and then object viewer. I can see. So this one is the frequency is closer. So we open from this, so you can see that. So the bench also, you can see the bench. To pan in the object viewer, press the roller of the mouse and hold it. You can see. Okay, that's all for this video. For the roundabout, we will discuss in the next video, and we create roundabout at this area.